Hey everybody,
Hey y'all.
it's been a while and it's late, and I'm eating a bowl of cereal because that's how I roll. And I don't know about you, but I like to eat my bowl of cereal with multiple types of cereal in my bowl. It's delicious. Tonight's menu brings us Raisin Bran and Honey Bunches of Oats, though the Honey Bunches of Oats has almonds, so yeah,
Disgusting. And we have enough
I'm
ready to
dying.
die. Yeah, we have enough cereal. It's not like we don't have enough cereal, but he mixes them. Disgusting. We're excited for the Abide in Me challenge. We have just 5 chapters left, which is perfect for this week. We're going to do 2 tonight and then 1 every other night this week. So we missed a couple days last week. Dane had a lot of youth things going on last week, so we missed a couple days. So we're going to do chapter 24 and 25 tonight.
Yep, we are going to go after it, and we're a little tired, so we're just going to jump right into it.
Cool. So I think the verse for me that stuck out in 24 was chapter 24, verse 35, that it says, "Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not pass away." And to me, it just made me think about all of the tangible things that I worry about, um, clothes and our house and just all the materialistic kind of things. That's sort of what jumped out at me, is that like that stuff is fleeting, but am I like God's word or Jesus' word will always be here, and is that what I'm focusing on in my heart? So yeah, that's the verse that just stuck out for me tonight.
Very cool. What jumped out to me was chapter 24, verse 46. And it says, "Blessed is that servant whom his master will find so doing when he comes." And, when I've been here at the house and, we're all social isolating and we're all at our own homes and things like that, and we're all away from people, excuse me, it's easy for us to say, like, I don't have any use.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing for me to do. Like, my activity in this world has been taken away from me, and there's nothing for me to be doing. And so this says is like, blessed is the servant who the master comes back and finds him still working, still doing. And I have to daily remind myself that there are good things that you can still do. I have to tell myself that, because it'd be easy to say, well, I can't go to the bus station anymore, and I can't have like one-on-one conversations with students really that are really important and really meaningful, and I can't like see my leaders face to face and invest in them, or
Yeah.
I can't do visit with the homebound people that we were visiting on Wednesday nights, and I could fill my brain with I can't, I can't, I can't. But like we tell our kids, like, what about I can? Get rid of the T and say, what can you do?
Yeah.
What can you be doing today? And so I wake up and I say, Dane, you know what? You're stuck in this house and in this area, this yard. You can walk around the neighborhood. That's it. But what can you do today? What can you do to change somebody else's life, to
Mm-hmm.
invest in somebody else? And so I think we all need to be asking ourselves, what can you do? It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how old you are. There's something you can do. And Jesus says right here, like, I want to find you working. I want to find you doing stuff. I want to find you not saying I can't because this, I can't because of that, but to say I can and I will. And even if it seems little, I'm going to still do it.
Yeah, and I feel like this is a really good time to think outside the box. That the sort of freedom to think about new things, or the freedom to try new things, like it's okay, just try it. Like I had never used Zoom before last week, like
Yeah, me neither.
just to try it, and if it's not perfect, it doesn't matter. To have the freedom and to be empowered a little bit to try those new things, and yeah, to just keep on keeping on, and try and being able to think freely of how you can do things now.
Yeah, because I think the negativity pops in and
Mm-hmm.
pops in well more and stronger. But we have to fight against that and say, no, I can and I will.
Yeah.
And it's not about how many people see it, and it's not about how many people see the worth of it, but if I know it's the right things to be doing, even if it's this is more than nothing.
Yeah.
And so,
well, and I think about too, just if everyone did small things, what that would look like.
right.
That it would really
Little
add up.
things add up to big things.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, that was what I got out of 24. 24 and 25 are talking about the end of the world, basically.
Which we are not going to focus on tonight.
And so we
Don't
find
worry.
ourselves in a weird situation with a pandemic and talking about this, but it is what it is. 25.
Okay, so switching gears to 25. 25 has one of my favorite parables, and this sheep and goats. And I just remind myself, am I going to be in the sheep or the goats? And so just verse 40, it just says, the king will answer, truly I tell you, just as you did to one of the least of these who are members of my family, you did it to me. And it just makes me, reminds me that anyone I meet, I need to treat them as God's people. And whether that's the person who's filling my prescription at CVS, if it's the guy that's picking up our trash out front, on every week, if it's a patient that's, in the hospital or their family, someone in our congregation, just anyone that we come in contact with, how, if you reflect back, how is your interaction with them going to be? Where do you fall? Have you treated them like you would treat Jesus? Have you treated them as one of God's beloved? So I just love this passage, and just think about, the short version, sheep and goats, where do I land? And so I hope that in all of my interactions, I'm not so focused on me, that I could be focused on the other person and just seeing God in them.
And who's part of the family of God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that a lot. And, I sit with that a bit too. But I'm in a similar vein of 24 and 25. So I just flew right into the same type thing. I guess it's where I am today, and saying, you know what, you still have worth, even if you are where you are. And even if you feel stuck, and even if you just feel like you just can't get out, you can't do anything, there is still good things to do. So mine came from verse 18 of chapter 25. That was a 4 and a 5.
Chapter 25.
25. And it just says, but he who had received 1 talent went and dug it in the ground and hid his master's money. And it was talking about the talents and how one slave was given 5 talents and one was given 2 and one was given 1. Excuse me. And the one with 5 made 5 in the return, and so he had 10 to give, and the one who had 2 made 2 in the return and gave 4, and the one didn't do anything. He just hid it. And I want to say is each of us has been given something by God.
Yeah.
A talent, a gift, exposure, whatever it
Experience,
is.
yeah.
We've all been given something by God. And I think it's important, and this shares the importance that we use it, that we don't just scrounge it and hold it either selfishly for ourselves, or that we just don't even live into it. Mm-hmm. That if we're too scared, or we don't have confidence in it, or whatever it may be, is that this was telling me that, hey, you need to live into what it is. If you've been given little, then be faithful in the little that you've been given. And if you've been given a lot, be faithful in the lot that you've been given. But to be faithful in those things, and in those talents and gifts and whatever else has been given to you. Mm-hmm. And so we all have visions of grandeur, right? And so we can get stuck, and I've done this a lot, is get stuck in this but I have this vision of more, mm-hmm. of greater things. But in here it's saying, you know what, those who are faithful with little will then be given more, to be faithful with that as well. And just the talents is if you just sit on it, nothing more is going to be given to you to live into that because you just sat on the gift that was given, even if you felt like it was little. And so that's to say, like, we all have something and we all have time, right? You have more free time than ever before.
Yeah.
Like, even if you have classes that took all your whole day, you still have more time than ever before. And so what are you doing with that time? How are you living into the giftedness, and how are you utilizing that? How are you utilizing time as a gift, right?
Yeah.
You know, like, so many things have been wiped off your slate. And so how are you using that as a gift to say, you know what, God, you have given me something little, actually bigger, as time. How am I going to utilize that? And think about that, pray about that, and see what comes to the surface. It may be writing letters to people. It may be calling people. It may be, I don't know what, but being faithful in those things is really
I feel
what
like I've noticed even just simple thank yous to people have, you know, the folks that were checking us out at the grocery store, or I went to had to go to the post office recently, and, you know, to just say, like, thank you for being here. You know, it's so small. But they're, you know, in this moment that we're in, they're taking a big risk to continue to serve our community. And so just, you know, I was in front of that person and I had a small opportunity, and to not waste it, you know, that. Yeah.
Well, and at our marriage conference, I know I spoke of it a few weeks ago, but they told a story about how they were just going to be intentional with every person that came into their realm, in front of them. I'm just going to be intentional and invest, saying, you know what, God may have put you in my path for a reason, and I'm going to not ignore it, and I'm going to take advantage of what this could be. And what it turned it into was a
beautiful moment for ministry.
Yeah. But what it turned into was where it was like a waitress that wasn't very good at what she was doing, but they still loved her and continued to show up for her. And eventually it was an amazing thing that came about.
That blossomed big.
Yes. But if they hadn't been faithful in the little moment that they had together, and just said, maybe this is an opportunity, then who knows what could have come up with it. And so how can we be faithful in those little moments? Whether it's chatting with somebody via one of these Zoom calls or live streams or something else, I think is something for us to hold on to today and every day.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, my bowl of cereal is almost done, so I guess that means we should finish. It's late and I'm tired. You tired?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will continue the Abide in Me challenge and hop on to 26 tomorrow.
Yep.
So we will see you then. Hope you will join us and hope you will read along. You know, we just have a few more weeks as we're walking through Holy Week.
A few more days.
Yeah. Sorry.
Not weeks.
Days.
Just a couple more days.
It's late. OMG. Oh my gosh. So we will we'll join you tomorrow night, 26. A few more days, not weeks. Talk to you then. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.